On November 2nd, 2022, Nature's Garden sent out an email as a greeting from Sue Bukta, the CEO of IndiMade Brands, LLC, which was now confirmed as owning Nature's Garden. This announcement came with mixed results from the soap making and candle making communities, and had several members of our community reaching out to us to find out what we thought about the situation. Does this announcement mean we're going to be purchasing from Nature's Garden again? Maybe. If you're new here, hi, I'm Raven. I'm one part of Cat and Raven Designs, and we've been in business since January of 2019. We make soap, bath bombs, stickers, wax melts, lip balms, all kinds of stuff. To make things crystal clear at the start of this video, Kat, myself, and our business are pro-LGBT. We are LGBT ourselves. We strive our best to be anti-racist. All cops are bastards. Vaccinate yourself and your kids, and support transgender folks, kids and adults, among a great multitude of other things. We're by no means perfect on these subjects. We do our best. These positions flavor the decisions we make as business owners and the companies that we're willing to put our money into. You may not feel the same. And if your little mitts are already typing away about how that is a problem for you, I'd like to remind you that clicking away is an option. Plus, if you're being shitty, I don't have a problem with deleting your comment and blocking you. So this is going to be a complex video that I will break down in a variety of chapters that are linked down in the description. So if there's any part that maybe is a little boring for you that you'd like to skip, or you'd like to review a different area again, please go ahead and feel free. I also have a script I'm going to be reading slightly off camera, and I have been sick with bronchitis, so if there's some weird cuts and I keep looking down, that's why. In the beginning of our business, we were Nature's Garden customers, just like a great deal of soap makers. However, we stopped purchasing from the company in early 2020 when we found out that the CEO, Deborah Ward, had been making financial contributions to the Trump campaign. I imagine it goes without saying from our introduction that we are not Trump fans. At the time, we reached out to Nature's Garden via social media and email and asked if they would let us know a position that they hold, whether their CEO's position was also the position of the company, and whether or not Nature's Garden would be willing to separate itself from that position. And we got left on red. Not a big surprise, but silence says a lot, even if you think it's a neutral position. It's not, by the way, but we'll get to that in a minute. We've mentioned in our videos and live streams before that we don't purchase from Nature's Garden anymore. And there's always someone who has to comment, like, we're telling you what to do. At no point have we ever said, you should not purchase from Nature's Garden, and here's why. It has always been, here's why we are no longer purchasing from Nature's Garden. Do with that as you will. So it's been years at this point since the last time we made a purchase with the company. Our primary fragrance oil supplier has been Candle Science for some time now. Not sponsored or anything, they're just Fragrance Bay. Candle Science has always been very clear and upfront about their support for the LGBT and BIPOC communities. They still have on their website a section on Black Lives Matter and supporting Black-owned businesses. They also do their best to be as environmentally friendly as they can, so in general, all around, it is something that we're very happy to support and put our money towards and have them associated with us as a brand and as people. Initially, when I heard that Nature's Garden had been sold, it was worded to me that it had been sold to Wholesale Supplies Plus, which is a company that we have purchased from on a semi-regular basis for years now. They're a little pricey, so we don't always purchase from them. Generally, we try to avoid it if we can, honestly. So I was hesitant to celebrate this announcement for a multitude of reasons. I had concerns about how Wholesale Supplies Plus handles their shipping and handling costs, their lead times, and their general pricing. And I didn't know if Deborah and Mike Ward were still going to be involved in some sort of ownership capacity with the company. So your girl went into full research mode. I'm going to cover the history of the two players involved here: Nature's Garden and IndiMade Brands. I used a variety of sources which are all publicly available to myself and to you if you want to look into them yourself. Primarily, I used the Ohio Secretary of State Business Search Database, which lists the corporate filings and fictitious name statements, or DBA filings, in the state of Ohio. There's opencorporates.com, which is another database for the corporate world and allowed me to search across multiple states at the same time. And opensecrets.org, which is another database for research and transparency in money used in political funding, as well as LinkedIn, which I'm sure most of you are aware of, and the social media and websites for the various companies involved here. We're going to start with Nature's Garden, which is currently based in Wellington, Ohio. At this point, I am going to be reading off my script because this is a lot of detail and I'm going to be putting things across the screen for you to see. I believe their true start date is sometime in 1997, but I had difficulties finding documentation from 1997 to 1999 when their domain, naturesgardencandles.com, was originally registered. Nature's Garden Gift Company was registered in 1999 by Deborah as well. And I did find a website I can't confirm was actually created by Deborah, with a company called Brand Yourself, which lists the beginning of the company in 1997. There were a variety of similarly themed fictitious names filed around that time as well, like Healing Times, Urban Scent, and Erotic Scents. Ooh, Deborah. All this herb talk got me looking back at that Brand Yourself page where I saw Herbal Healing Academy, where Deborah was listed as a doctor? I couldn't find anything about the Herbal Healing Academy, but Healing Times, Nature of Business was listed as educate the public about herbal products and sell herbal supplements. And Brand Yourself is apparently a company for online reputation management to help you outrank negative search results. I have questions. Babe, were you on an MLM or something? Is that what all this herbal healing thing and like doctor thing is about? It has MLM vibes. I don't know. I couldn't substantiate anything about these companies beyond that, but focus, Raven. So the initial registration with the state of Ohio was in April of 2001 as Colorfast Incorporated under Deborah Ward and John M. Ward. He goes by Mike in most of the filings that I found after this, so I'm going to be calling him Mike for the rest of the video. There isn't a lot of activity for a few years in terms of filings and renewals, save for some more fictitious names being registered. DBAs like Color Dots, Customized Cosmetics, Nature Perfect. Then in September of 2012, we have a whole slew of variations on Nature's Garden registered to Colorfast Inc. Nature's Garden Candle Supply, Nature's Garden Gift Company, Nature's Garden Wholesale Candle and Soap Supplies, Nature's Garden Candles. Things go quiet again until September of 2021. Colorfast is amended to become DMMB Holdings Incorporated. No big surprise, the purchase of Nature's Garden has been in the works for a while. And in February of 2022, Nature's Garden is filed as a fictitious name being used by IndiMade Brands, LLC. So let's talk IndiMade Brands. This one gets a little more complicated because we start to deal with investment firms, acquisitions, and a lot of changes. Buckle in. WholesaleSuppliesPlus.com, the domain, is registered in August of 1999, and Wholesale Supplies Plus Incorporated is registered in Ohio in September of that same year to Deborah and David May. But wait, Raven, I thought we were talking about IndiMade Brands and not Wholesale Supplies Plus. We'll get there, promise. They amend the name in October of 1999 to WholesaleSuppliesPlus.com Incorporated. We get some DBAs in 2005 of PopularFundraisers.com and BottlesandTops.com, neither of which appear to still be around, at least as far as I can tell. They go back to Wholesale Supplies Plus Incorporated in 2011, then convert to Wholesale Supplies Plus LLC in April of 2019. In May, they merged with Wholesale Supplies Plus Acquisition LLC out of Delaware, and in July of 2019, they are officially acquired by Incline Equity Partners, who are an equity firm based in Pennsylvania. That same month, they also merged with Crafter's Choice Brands LLC, Handmade Stores LLC, and Handmade Studio LLC, all out of Ohio, which also become DBAs for Wholesale Supplies Plus. You're probably familiar with Crafter's Choice. If you've been around in the soap making community for a while, they are a big brand. Lots of raw materials, molds, and things like that. The beginning of 2020 brings in Sam Solomon as the CEO, and we begin to see the big acquisitions that kicked off the Wholesale Supply Plus is buying everything trend that we begin to see everywhere. If you've been in the community, you probably are familiar with that concept. In August of 2020, they acquire Rustic Essentials, which is another big fragrance oil company. We basically stopped buying from them around that time. It was messy. In January 2021, new DBAs Just Scent, Elements Bath and Body, and Chemistry Connection are registered. If you've been with us for a while, you'll know that we used to buy all of our oils from Chemistry Connection under the name Save on Citric. So if you've seen that in any of our previous videos, that's what that was. Save on Citric was Chemistry Connection, and they were purchased by Wholesale Supplies Plus in 2021. It was messy. It was the worst. It basically killed that supplier. They still operate under MakeYourOwn.buzz, but to be honest, the pricing there sucks. I don't buy from there if I can help it at all. Just because of the cost. Then in March of 2021, they registered the Flaming Candle as a DBA before Wholesale Supplies Plus was acquired from Incline by Two Sigma Investment LP and Avance Investment Management in April of 2021. In November of 2021, Sam Solomon leaves as CEO, but apparently he freaking killed it money-wise as the CEO, so like Good for him. He sold the company for 14 times what it was purchased for. Damn, Sam. Nice. Just from like a business perspective. Hopping to February of 2022, Wholesale Supplies Plus files a DBA for Nature's Garden. And in July of 2022, Wholesale Supplies Plus name is officially amended to IndiMade Brands, LLC. And Wholesale Supplies Plus becomes a fictitious name. In August, the Flaming Candle Company is filed as another DBA. Enter Sue Bukta, the new CEO for IndiMade Brands, as Nature's Garden puts out their announcement. Have I mentioned I tend to get a little hung up on the details? Yeah. So I still needed to know whether or not this change in ownership meant that the Wards were still involved in the company. And would IndiMade Brands be similarly unwilling to separate themselves from the political choices of the support we had seen in the past? As it turns out, all I had to do was email Sue and she would just get right back to me. Fantastic. I asked her two things. One, are Deborah and Mike Ward still involved in ownership or in an officer capacity with Nature's Garden? I no longer see them mentioned in the About You section of your website, and I see Colorfast Incorporated has changed its name to DMMB Holdings Incorporated with the Ohio Secretary of State. 2. Does IndiMade Brands, as the new owner of Nature's Garden, have a position on supporting the LGBTQ plus community and BIPOC communities? And if IndiMade does not, does Nature's Garden now have a position on these topics? Sue got back to me really fast, which really surprised me. Some of the feedback emails that I had found when doing some of my initial research did not yield any results, but emailing Sue did. And here was Sue's response. Neither Deb or Mike Ward are owners of or in any officer capacity at IndiMade or Nature's Garden or any of our brands. IndiMade Brands is proud to support all makers, artists, and entrepreneurs, period. Okay, yes, this is great. I am really happy to see this. I am a little cautious though. Support in emails like this is great to hear. Don't get me wrong. I think this presents a really important topic to talk about in business. It's not new, and I am in no way an expert, so I'm going to be speaking from my own personal opinion and experience. And that subject is social responsibility in business. It's very common in business, and I've noticed really heavily in the soap making community, to choose to be silent on issues of social inequity. I think the thought process is often wrapped up in the idea that business is and should be neutral, and that business owners will be willing to say things privately in support of historically marginalized communities, but are afraid of saying so publicly, especially in relation to their business, for fear of the backlash, and that they'll lose customers as a result of it. Business is not neutral. I think this presents a fantastic opportunity for IndiMade Brands as Nature's Garden, Wholesale Supplies Plus, and the Flaming Candle to brand themselves publicly as supporting all creators. There's already so many changes going on in terms of their website, social media, rebranding, acquisitions, and finding a new brand identity going forward as a member of IndiMade Brands. So, to IndiMade Brands and its parent investment companies, I encourage you to take this chance to say that you support all makers, entrepreneurs, and creators explicitly, clearly, and publicly. Yes, you will likely face a certain degree of backlash in your comments, phone calls, and emails. Yes, you may lose business from these same people. I can't say that it will be any worse than the backlash already faced every day by marginalized creators, artists, and entrepreneurs. Makers who are concerned about how best to photograph their products, knowing that if the color of their skin shows in those photos, it will affect their sales. Artists who post pictures of their queer relationship, knowing that as soon as they do, their notifications might become a minefield. Business owners who bravely face these things anyway and put their business, themselves, and their products out there. I think those kinds of people deserve your open support. Because when you're silent, you tell those people that you would rather appease the people who hate them than stand together with them against that hate. Silence is not neutral. Silence comes from a position of safety and privilege. Silence is saying what is being done to you and your community does not affect me enough that I'm willing to risk my own position. The decision to not comment on these things says a lot about what you are and are not willing to stand up for. Silence is easy. Silence is safe. And it is a choice to take a position, whether you think it is or not. If you're watching this and you're like me and you're also a small business owner, please consider doing the same. Regardless of the size of your business, showing open support can mean the world. I know it's scary. I know you may be worried about how it will affect your business and your everyday life, but please be willing to take that step. It is so important to not continue to hand power over to the people that would use it for hate. If support only exists in a realm where you get to remain safe and unaffected, it is not true support. Please take that small personal risk and do the right thing. So, at the end of the day, will we be purchasing from Nature's Garden again? Maybe. We'll see how things play out in the new year. I really, really hope to see an upfront, honest, clear stance on social inequity from this company. I really, really do. I don't think I'm going to see it, though, if I'm going to be honest. I don't have a lot of faith in that. I hope, but I'm not going to put any money on that hope. As a general life update, like I said, I've had bronchitis for weeks now. I'm having to cut out a lot of coughing and struggling to speak just to make this video. I've been loaded up on like 5 different medications for like 2 weeks to get to the point of being like okay enough to do something like this. I'm hoping I'll be better soon. I'm doing everything I can to try and get well and get healthy again, so I appreciate your support. And we should be having normal videos again soon. Thanks again for being here, and this is your usual hydration check, friends. Make sure you go have some water. Thanks again. We'll see you later.